Hey kids, today I'm going to do a quick unboxing and setup video for Armor Tools AUTO JIG. I'm Phil Shimbine and today is day 443 of the Gradually Wizardly project. And that will have to do. So here's the thing we're all here to talk about. Armor Tools AUTO JIG, right? I picked this up at Timbecon not too long ago. It sat on a shelf for a little bit while I tried to get some time to do something with it. Right off the box you can see that it tells you everything you need to know to get this thing working, because the guys at Timbecon know everything there is to know about getting wood working, huh? So funny. This is the APJ1400. It is a pocket hole jig. It comes with, well, let's just open it up and see what it comes with. Oh. So, the box itself had a little handle on it. That's nice for carrying. It's always a nice touch. So we're opening this puppy up. And it opens this way. Awkwardly. Okay. Wow. The guys at the shop kept cracking jokes about how setting up being just like taking it out of the box and plunking it down and being like done and done. But, you know, that's not quite right. There is some setup stuff that needs to happen, but not a whole heck of a lot. But you essentially get the unit, and there's this box here, which more tape. Good times. Where'd I put my knife? There it is, right where I left it. We've got us a book of words. It's always appreciated. The good old book of words. This box we no longer need. And we got a little bag here. That has a bunch of extra baggy, color-coded screws. Red and yellow and orange, my personal favorite. And more yellows, but these are the coarser ones, I guess. And some green ones that are also coarse. Ta-da! Juste comme ça. Ooh. On this particular unit, it has all kinds of nifty stuff. There's tons of videos out there telling you all about what you need to know. Some of the things that I was asked to point out specifically before you come back into the shop and complain that there is no driver in your unit, there is one underneath. Oh, look at me dropping stuff. It is mounted underneath right there. Right there. To get to the actual bits and pieces that are really quite slick, let's start at the top and work our way down. So there's this block here, right? This is the bit that actually the drill goes into, right? It has this block that you just saw me tighten up and play around with a little bit. This just does your spacing between the two holes if you do double holes, right? It just gets tightened down with that. It has extraction on it right here, which is always nice and nifty. So here's the actual meat and potatoes, the extra super cool bit of this unit. if you, there we go. There's an auto adjust feature here that adjusts the amount of clamping pressure that goes down on the tool, right? When it actually clamps down in place, which is fantastic. You can set the amount of pressure with this little knob here. All right, GoPro, earn your keep, little man. Yeah, so you can see here, this knob adjusts the tension kind of, you know, this way. It sets where it engages and disengages itself. It is a proprietary feature to just about everything Armor Tool makes, to be perfectly honest. And I absolutely love it. It pushes down on this little bit here, right? And makes it so that when it reaches a certain point, it disengages. So it doesn't push past that point, which is fantastic. Now this right here is my favorite part of the whole thing, right? You see how the collar lock is nice and loose here, and it's connected to this bit that slides? Oh, so good. Ready for this? When you, that's an awkward angle, but that's all right. When you pull this in on your part, the slide lock, or the whatever locky thing on the thingy, moves with it. So then all you have to do is take this hex key off of here and tighten it up, and that's the perfect depth for what you're doing. Oh, solid gold. But wait, there's more. If you see here, it's color coded, right? And it has to do with those screws from earlier. When you move this bit in and out, which clamps down on the workpiece, let's grab a piece of random scrap garbage timber. There you go, a little piece of plywood. I believe that's a 15 mil piece of garbage ply, and that is a technical industry term. As you pull this, right, this slides down, and then you lock it in place. Clunk. And now you can see that, can you see that? No, you can't see that, because I am not a very good cameraman. You can see that it tells you the thickness of the timber that you're working, right? It says, what does it say, 5/8? Focus. Focus. Whatever. It says 5/8 of an inch, which, you know, I wish it was metric, but it's not. This is an American company, but that's okay. So it gives you, you can see right here, there's a color as well. You know, it's green, so that goes with the green screws, right? Very nifty, color-coded system. I like it very, very much. Whew. Now that we got the basics of the unit sorted out, it comes with a bunch of screws that are all of various lengths. The color of the screw matches the gauge that's on the side of the unit that I was talking about earlier. In the yellow, which is more of a beigey taupey color, I guess, it comes with two bags, and one is the coarse thread and the other is the fine thread. Coarse thread, fine thread. The coarse thread screws are designed to be used with pretty much anything wooden that's not a hardwood, right? So any of your pines, your plies, I said wooden in air quotes, not just because I'm an air quotes kind of D-bag of a person, but because you would use these coarse threads in MDF, OSB, masonite, you know, what a hard whacking board, whatever you got, right? Literally any wood or wood related product that is not a hardwood specifically. For your hardwoods, you would want to use the fine threaded screws, right? Now, an important thing to wrap your brain around is, if for some reason you're going to go from a ply or a softwood into a hardwood, you want to make sure you use the correct screw for the job. You don't want to use the coarse, even though you're going through the plywood. You want to use the fine because it's going into the hardwood, if that makes any sense. One of the places where pocket hole screws are brilliant, and kind of the original design really is in the making of face frames or lining up panels, right? So for instance, say you want to line up, you want to make a panel that has this piece and this piece. Yeah, whatever. They're not the same distance, but you know what I mean. So you would want to do pocket screws this way, right? Across the piece this way. Or if you want to make face frames for like a cabinet or what have you, say you would want to have your pocket screw go through here and through here. Here's some examples of me actually using the thing. Ya doink. Let's make a panel with some scraps of garbage. Yay, let's turn that around just because. Hey, look at that. These were from the same piece. That's fun. So, to make them line up, right? Put a line here, put a line there, right? So we're going to go from this piece into this piece, right? Love this pencil. By the way, you should buy one if you don't have one. So we'll get that out of the way for now. Okay, so we got a piece of plywood in there. We know it is 15 millimeters, or was that 55/8 of an inch? I don't know how many miles are in a liter. So then you take this hex key, conveniently located on the carriage or whatever, and you tighten this up. Right, so now I've got a drill and a driver. Not a driver, actually, that's a drill as well. But it's a right angle drill, the C12 Rad by Milwaukee. I love this thing. Anywho, so you got your thingy that's been automatically set. Put it in your drill. Right, and now we're gonna just chuck a hole in this thing. That's one without extraction. I'm a smart guy. Let's chuck the extraction on there. Conveniently. Man, that thing is loud. Okay, so there you go. There's the difference with and without extraction. I meant to do that. So you got your two conveniently placed holes there. So like I said earlier, the driver is located underneath the unit. Don't go back to the story where you bought this thing and complain that your unit doesn't have a driver in it just because you didn't pay attention. There, that's where it is. Using this thingy that I mentioned earlier. Oh, this is awkward, pointing it at a camera while doing it. Out of the way, you. Clunk. Okay, so obviously you can put a line of glue in there if you want, but you know. So, like I said, this is plywood, so we are going to use a coarse threaded screw if we can get the Ziploc baggie open. So, here we go. Bang. Juste comme ça. There we go. One perfectly aligned panel. Now, it's essentially the same process if you wanted to do a face frame, right? So if you wanted to have a little piece coming off this way, then you're good to go. So there you have it. There's a quick unboxing and basic setup and overview of the Auto Jig by Armor Tool. This thing is fantastic. I wholeheartedly recommend getting yourself one. Probably don't need two, but you never know. If you're new to my channel, be sure to share, like, and subscribe and hit that notification bell and all that fun stuff. So there you have it. I'll see you guys when I see you.